So my name is Annika, and I'm an education major, and today I'm going to talk about learning for a lifetime. So you know that great-grandma who you always hear about? It's her vase you broke as a kid and your mother never quite forgave you for it. The one who didn't have a cell phone and lived a lifestyle very different from yours. Now, if I'm starting to sound like your mom, don't tune me out yet. Believe it or not, I'm going to share with you all my love for genealogy, which really just means that I love learning about my family's history. So being the huge nerd that I am, I spent the weeks of winter break last year learning all about my family history, for free I may add. And I'm here today to share with you the great outcomes that can come from learning about your family history. There's a significance to learning about your family history and how they came to be and the trials and victories they had to walk through so you can live the life you do today. For me, this really hit home when I learned about my great-great-great-grandfather, Paul Tollefson Neilvanton Lee. Not only did he suffer the loss of a sister and brother growing up, he was the oldest and most likely had to pick up extra responsibility at home. However, he also lost his first wife and twin daughters in childbirth. He then remarried his wife's sister, which is a little strange. He then picked up his family, including 2 new sons, and moved to the United States. He walked away from parents, siblings that he had grown up with, and that he would most likely never see again. Just to hopefully have a better life, but he didn't know. He was probably poor, working very hard in the United States to farm the great land of Madison, Wisconsin. His grave is now by the land that he farmed, and I'm blessed enough to be able to have visited. I visited the church he attended, the land he walked, and the city he lived his days out in. He made so many sacrifices to move and live a lifestyle of hard work and self-discipline, so ultimately I could live in the United States today and live the lifestyle I do. As I continued this research, I found this constant loss of parents, children, siblings to be a common thing. With sickness and people moving away and eventually passing away to be a pretty common thing throughout my family. What a different level of loss and pain my ancestors had walked through. How it humbled me and made me appreciate the lifestyle I live today so much more. Now, I don't tell you this story to make you feel guilt or sadness, but simply as an encourager of sorts, to research your own family history and understand more deeply how much sacrifice your family made to move to the United States and the trials they endured along the way. This past spring, I also had the chance to meet my first cousin 3 times removed, which is a lot more closely related than it sounds. With the information off Ancestry.com and a little courage, I came to meet a relative whose house I had driven past my entire life, and I had no idea he lived there. What an amazing blessing that came from my desire to learn more about my family. However, more than just an appreciation, this research about my family has inspired and allowed me to express the pursuit of lifelong learning. So even when classes end in a week, I would encourage you all to learn something new, such as a skill, learn more about a place you want to visit someday, or maybe even research for free the history of your family. As writing tutors, we are already learning every day from the learners that come in and share their thoughts and opinions with us. I learned about Hmong marriages the other day, and was again reminded of how much my job aligns with my goal of being a lifelong learner, which I love. However, this is not a lifestyle we want to keep in the context of the writing lab or even in the context of college. Developing a lifestyle that constantly includes reading, writing, or unofficial research will greatly benefit you as an individual, but the community surrounding you. My grandfather has always practiced this principle and now lives happily in his 80s, keeping his mind active with those newspaper crosswords that no one can ever solve. He does those. Or engaging conversations with his grandchildren. The point being, your family is worth checking into. And you might be surprised at how much you can learn from those who are still alive around you. If you just stop for a moment and ask. Don't wait until grandparents are gone to start wishing you had stopped and asked them about their life growing up. my grandparents on my mom's side found themselves at the ages of 16 and 18 pregnant with their first child. While I knew about this for several years, I never asked my grandma how it felt for her to endure the social pressures and extremely challenging situations she must have walked through. Now, I no longer have that opportunity, and I use this as an encouragement to ask questions to the grandparents and the relatives that still are alive today. They're not going to be here forever, and their insight and perspectives are invaluable to my family and its lasting legacy. Lifelong learners are able to pass on traditions, ideas, and values so that the history no longer repeats itself. So instead of always looking forward, I found that looking back on occasion gives me a fresh perspective on what life